In this video, we'll be seeing the topic percentages. So this topic is a very primary topic because without which you cannot do topics like simple interest, compound interest, profit and loss, data and predictions, which are very important in terms of all the competitive examinations, CAT examinations, etc. So percentages topic, before proceeding with the concept, we need to know the real meaning of this word percentages. So let me just split the word as percent. For instance, if I say that I eat 3 meals per day, then it actually means I eat 3 meals in a day, or out of a day I eat 3 meals. Similarly, percentages actually means out of 100. Percent. So it indirectly says that the root word cent means the number 100, like the word try means 3, right? Similarly, the root word cent means 100. Now, let's get into the concepts which are nothing but how to represent percentages as decimals and fractions, and percentage increase and percentage decrease. How do we calculate these two terms? The first concept, representing percentages as decimals and fractions. Well, before this, I need to tell you that in mathematics, always we assume the actual value or the total value. If it's not given, then we assume it to be 1 or 100 percentage. So that's the reason why I've represented the fraction 1 as 1 in decimals and 100 percentage in terms of percentages. Well, assume that you have a complete cake, a full cake, and you have to divide the cake for 2 people. Then each person will be getting 50% of the cake, which in terms of decimal is nothing but 0.5. Similarly, if the cake is divided among 3 people, then each person gets 33.33%, which in terms of decimals is 0.33. You might have a doubt like, why do we need to know the representation of fractions as decimals and percentages? The reason being, at times in calculations, if at all you get these kind of decimals like 0.25, 0.33, then the multiplication becomes a little complicated because the time given for all the aptitude examination is very less. At that time, you can replace 0.33 with 1 by 3 and you can directly divide the number and get the answers very quickly. That's why. So yes, 1 by 4 can be represented as the percentage 25 and 0.25 in terms of decimal. Similarly, 1 by 5 can be represented as 20% and 0.20 in terms of decimal. This continues for the all other numbers like 1 by 6, which is represented as 16.67, and 1 by 8, which is represented as 12.5, 1 by 9 as 11.11. Well, you might have a doubt like, how do we get these values? Well, it's quite simple. I want to represent anything, any fraction or any number in terms of percentage, then I multiply it with 100. So in 100, how many times of 9 are there? We have exactly 11 times. So 11 point, we do have one remainder. So again in that 11, if you put a point, then it will be 100. So again 1. So it will be 11.11, which is represented as 1 by 9 in terms of percentages. So 1 by 10 is 10%, which we all knew, and 1 by 11 again is nothing but number of times of 11 and 100 is nothing but 9, 9.09. Well, these two are like same. 1 by 9 is 11.11 and 1 by 11 is 9.09. So now, here if you see properly, I have missed out a number 7. I have not given the percentage representation and decimal representation of 1 by 7. So 7 is a special number because let's take the percentage representation of 1 by 7, which is nothing but 14.2857%. Well, the reason why I've taken this individually is because using these 4 digits 1, 4, 2, 8, 5, 7, we can calculate 2 by 7's percentage, 3 by 7's percentage, 4 by 7, 5 by 7 and 6 by 7. How? It's quite simple. Just take these 6 digits and put them in a circle in the same order given here. 1, 4, 2, 8, 5, 7. And for 1 by 7, I started with the smallest number in the circle, which is 1. So it's like 14.2857. For 2 by 7, I will start with the second smallest number in the circle. Well, the second smallest number in the circle is 2. So my answer will be 28.5714. And for 3 by 7, I will start with the third smallest number in the circle. The third smallest number in the circle is nothing but 4. So my answer is 42.8571. And for 4 by 7, it will be 57.1428. And for 5 by 7 and 6 by 7, the same goes respectively. So now knowing all the primary numbers, let's try to calculate the percentage representation of 1 by 15, 1 by 13 and 1 by 12. Well, how do we do it? 1 by 15's value can be calculated from 1 by 5 or 1 by 3. How? 1 by 5 by 3 is nothing but 1 by 15, or 1 by 3 by 5 is 1 by 15. We do know that 1 by 5 is nothing but 20 percentage. So 20 percentage by 3 is nothing but 6.33 percentage. So 1 by 15's percentage representation is nothing but 6.33. Well, similarly for 1 by 13, as it's a prime number, we cannot derive it from the earlier values. So let me just calculate it instantaneously. How do we calculate it? Just by multiplying it with 100. 1 by 13 into 100 will give you, how many times of 13 are there in 100? We do have 7 times. 7 13s are 91. So we are left out with 9. In 90, there will be obviously 1 less than 7 times. So 6 times. So approximate percentage representation of 1 by 13 is nothing but 7.6%. How about 1 by 12? 1 by 12 can be calculated in various ways. It can be written as 1 by 4 by 3, or 1 by 3 by 4, or 1 by 2 by 6, or 1 by 6 by 2. Among all these, the easier one will be 1 by 4, calculating it from 1 by 4. So let me just take 1 by 4's value, which is nothing but 25 percentage. So it is nothing but 25 percentage by 3, which will give you 8.33 percentage. So this is how we calculate the percentages in terms of decimals and fractions. Now let's try to do some questions based on whatever we have studied in the first concept. How do I represent the percentage 37.5 in terms of fraction? Well, 37.5 can actually be written as 375 by 10, or it can also be written as 3 times of 12.5 percentage. So here we know that 12.5 percentage is nothing but 1 by 8. So we can rewrite 37.5 percentage as 3 into 1 by 8, which is nothing but 3 by 8. Yes, next question, 4 by 9. We can actually split the 4 by 9 as 4 into 1 by 9. We do know that 1 by 9 is nothing but 11.11 percentage. So it will be 4 times of 11.11 percentage, or 44.44 percentage. Yes, now what about the third one? Again, similarly here also we can write 5 by 8 as 5 into 1 by 8. We do know that 1 by 8 is nothing but 12.5 percentage. So let me just replace it as 12.5 percentage. So 5 times of 12.5 is nothing but 62.5 percentage. So 5 by 8 in terms of percentage is nothing but 62.5%. And what about 3 by 16? Here also you can split the 3 by 16 as 3 times of 1 by 16. So we do know the value of 1 by 8, which is 12.5. 1 by 16 is nothing but half of 12.5. So half of 12.5 is nothing but 6.33 or 6.25 actually. So our 3 by 16 is nothing but 18.75 percentage. So this is how we calculate the percentages. So we are left out with two last problems, 8 by 15. Well, 8 by 15 also can be written as 8 into 1 by 15. Just now we calculated the value of 1 by 15, which is nothing but 6.33%. So just take it and substitute it here. So here also we have got, we just multiply, simplify it and get the answer. 8 6 are 48 and 0.33 into 8 will be 2.64. So 48 plus 2.64 will be 50.64 percentage. One last question, 11 by 7. Well, 11 by 7 is actually different from all the fractions that we have seen earlier. The reason being, 11 by 7 is an improper fraction. How do you differentiate between improper and proper fractions? It's very simple. If your denominator is lesser than your numerator, then it is a improper fraction. If your denominator is more than your numerator, then it's a proper fraction. That's it, very simple. So here it's an improper fraction. I'm going to first write the improper fraction as a mixed fraction. How do you write the mixed fraction? Well, most of you know it. Anyways, I'll tell you again. How many times of 7 are there in 11? Well, we do have only 1 times of 7. 1 7s are 7 and what's the remainder? 4. So we can write 11 by 7 as 1 4 by 7. So let me just split and write it as 1 plus 4 by 7. Earlier in the starting I told you that 1 can be replaced with 100% and 4 by 7 can be written as 57.1428. So replacing 4 by 7 as 57.1428 percentage. So 11 by 7 in terms of percentage is nothing but 157.1428 percentage. So this is how you make use of the conversion of percentages as decimals and fractions. Now moving on with the second concept, percentage increase and percentage decrease. Well, now let's take a very simple example. You have 100 rupees in your hand and I'm giving you 20 rupees. Then it becomes 120. What is the percentage increase from 100 to 120? You can calculate it very easily. A 5th standard kid would do it very quickly. It's nothing but 20%. But my question is, if I reduce 20% from 120, will I get the 100 back? Definitely not. Because from 120, which is the actual value, how do you calculate the 20%? If 120 is the actual value, 10% of 120 is nothing but 1 decimal before, which makes it as 12. If 10% is 12, then 20% is nothing but 24. So if I reduce 20% from 120, I will not get 100%. So how much should I reduce from 120 in order to get 100 back? Well, this can actually be applied only when the resultant value is kept constant. For example, length into breadth is the area of a rectangle and expenditure plus your savings will be your salary. Likewise, we have a lot of derivations and formulas. So this percentage increase and decrease can be applied only in scenarios where they are given, like if I increase the length by certain percentage, the breadth should be decreased by what percentage, provided the area is constant, the area is not changed. Likewise, if I increase the expenditure by certain percentage, the savings should be controlled or decreased by what percentage, provided my salary is not changing. In these cases only we are going to apply this percentage increase and decrease concept. Well, percentage increase can actually be calculated using a formula. In internet you will find a lot of formulas, as the internet is completely flooded with formulas. We will stick with the basics of it. Here easily we calculated 100 to 120 is nothing but 20% increase. But what if numbers like 44 to 67, 83 to 112 is given? Well, there also you can calculate the percentage increase very easily. It's nothing but from 100 to 120, what is the amount that has increased? 20. Divided by, from where it is increasing, always from the smaller number, 100. As I want to represent it in forms of percentage, I will multiply it by 100. So 20 by 100 into 100 is nothing but 20% increase. From 120 to 100, how do I calculate the percentage decrease? Well, here also same methodology. From 120 to 100, what is the amount that has decreased? 120 divided by, from where it is decreasing, always from the larger number, 120. As I want to represent it in terms of percentage, multiplying it with 100. Well, 1 times of 20 and 6 times of 20. You need not just cancel 100 and 6 and all, because 1 by 6 is nothing but 16.67%. That's why I gave you the representation of percentages as decimals and fractions earlier itself. Well, either you can use this conventional method or you can go with a shortcut. When the percentage increase is x by n, then the percentage decrease will be x by n plus x. Well, I have it in terms of percentage, but I am giving you the shortcut in terms of fractions, right? This is where your representations help you. How does 20% be represented as a fraction? It can be represented as 1 by 5, where x represents 1 and n represents 5. Just replace the value of x in here. X is 1 and n plus x is 6, which gives you 16.67%. So either you can go with a conventional method or you can go with a shortcut. Both leaves you with the same answer. Well, now let's try to do certain questions with the help of these concepts. If 11 1 by 9 percentage of a number is added with itself, then the result becomes 900. Find the original number. Here the original number is not known, so let's consider the original number to be x. They are telling that if 11 1 by 9 percentage of a number is added with itself, so original number is x, then 11 1 by 9 percentage of the number, if it is added with the original number, then it is resulting in 900. This is what is given in the question. What is asked in the question? Value of x. Well, convert the mixed fraction as a improper fraction. 11 nines are 99, 99 plus 100, so it is 100 by 9 by 100, which makes it 100 by 900 of x plus x is equal to 900. Here we are left out with 1 by 9x plus x is equal to 900. Well, just add these values. You will be having 10 by 9 of x is equal to 900. On simplification, you will be having the x value to be 810. So the actual value is 810. Well, this is how you make use of the concepts that's given to you and find the answers. Well, the second question is nothing but 21 is added in a number, then the result becomes 137.5% of a number. Find the number. Here also the number is not found, so let's consider the number to be x. And when 21 is added to the number, it becomes 137.5%. What is 137.5% in terms of improper fraction? Well, it is nothing but 275 by 2. As it is expressed in terms of percentage, we'll write it as 275 by 2 by 100 or 275 by 200 of x. In order to make the calculation easier, let's try to cancel 275 and 200. 8 times of 25 is 200 and 11 times of 25 is 275. So now try to cross multiply. 21 8s are 168 plus 8x is equal to 11x. So taking all the variables on one side, 11x minus 8x will give you 3x, which is equal to 168. So the x value is nothing but 168 by 3 or 56. So the value of x is nothing but 56. So the number is 56. So yes, the third question, if the sides of the square is increased by 40%, then the change in its area is how much? Well, we know that area of a square is nothing but a square. Well, initially the side is not given, so let me consider the side to be 1, because I told you that if the actual value is not given, you can assume it to be 1. So now if I substitute a as 1, then it will be area of square is 1. If it is increased by 40%, then 100 to 40% increase will make it as 140. Well, we actually assumed 100 as 1, then 140 has to be assumed as 1.4. Now, if you take the side to be 1.4, then on squaring it, you will be getting 1.96. So from 1 to 1.96, the change in area is how much? 0.96 or 96%. The step-by-step procedure is for you to understand it completely, but it shouldn't take this much time for solving this kind of problem. So the change in its area is nothing but 96%.